guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Dancing Oracle. For those of you that are new here, I'm Mars. And today is going to be just a little bit of a weekly forecast for the week of December from the 2nd to the 8th. And I'm just gonna go through and just channel the messages that I got for us to be looking out for this week. So with that being said, let's hop right on in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment while you're here. Check out my other videos. And if you like what you see, subscribe. If you're watching this from my Twitter, make sure to like and retweet this for me. Thank you very much. Okay. I'm so nervous. Alright, so for the first card for this week's forecast, we have the Seven of Cups reversed, and the zodiac and astrological placements for this card also indicate Venus in Scorpio. Venus, more of like a creating things to your liking, to your preference and your surroundings that way. But with the influence of Scorpio here, it might be, especially like I mentioned in my last video, once again with these Scorpio transits happening and the Saturn ruled planets kind of having a little bit of influence as well. It would probably suggest that the preferences and the things that you thought that you liked and in which you created for yourself are a little bit more deep rooted. Like there's causes for you seeking the sense of what makes you feel comfortable and what you want to see in your environment and within yourself reflected back around you, if that makes sense. I'm also getting that, especially with the numerology or the vibration of the number 7, this could indicate some obstacles because it is reversed, or things for you to like work through, things that need to be cleared and taken care of if you want to just like flip the mindset of it. Some of you may be beginning to move out of your own way as you're seeing now that you have to start somewhere. So now you're making some more concrete moves and efforts and actions. There's progression here. Some of you also might be coming off of a resting period, but just know, you guys, that the choices that you choose to make now and around this time, or don't, could have further reaching consequences than you may think. So if you're feeling stagnant right now, once you've rested up, you need to move. Now is not the time for inactivity or stagnation or becoming complacent, especially if any of this like inactiveness or anything like that is due to fear or procrastination or just downright laziness. Resting and recharging is a different thing, mind you, but some of you need to be careful with using distractions or resulting to some of your more addictive behaviors or habits that you resort to in order to escape or ignore your problems or your responsibilities. So that's something to look out for right now as well, towards the beginning of the week, especially with the Neptunian energy going on in this card, as well as it being reversed. On the other hand though, if you are dealing with indecisiveness around this time, same thing. It's time for you to start making some choices, and like seriously, you need to think of it as it's either now or never. So if you're holding yourself back from doing something out of fear, it's important for you guys to know right now and start telling yourself it's going to be okay. Okay? You're gonna be alright. Alright, you're gonna be okay. As you are right now. Things may take some time, but you could either let time pass you by, let time heal wounds eventually, or you could spend this time testing just how resilient you really are, and you may find yourself surprised. So start getting pumped and motivating yourself, lifting and raising those vibrations to get yourself out of that rut that some of you guys may be in around this time. And for our next card we have in this spread, I already had this spread laid out and I kind of went through and interpreted and took out what I felt like needed to be taken out from it, and that is what I'm giving to you guys now. So yeah, these cards are already pre-laid out, because I shuffled and pulled moments before, and then I decided to record because I felt like this was the message that I need to get out to you guys. So I decided to make this the weekly forecast. And then so up next we have the Six of Swords. Okay, so what the Six of Swords can indicate is progress, as well as moving into calmer waters for some of you. So I'm seeing that towards the like middle to end of the week though. You're gonna go from this place of moving on, moving forward, which is what the Seven of Cups kind of said that you guys needed to do. So it's good that some of you are actually going to be taking those steps and actually doing that. Finally overcoming those hardships, right? And then after that will come the rest and the healing. Relief and stability for some of you. So this means you can expect problems in your life to settle down, and for things to be much easier to deal with when this time comes along for you. Some of the themes associated with the interpretation of this card are like journey, a better future, or from what I'm seeing, looking out or onto a better, brighter future for yourself. It can sometimes indicate the need of escape, like the feeling that you want to escape something, but in this case scenario within this forecast for this week, I'm seeing that if you do have this feeling or this sense that you need to escape or get away, what I encourage you to do is flip that and really take a moment to settle in with whatever it is that's making you feel that way, and rather to escape it, shift your vibration, create change, create movement. Because if you want to escape something, you want to get away from it, right? And sometimes the best way and the only way to get away from it is to get through it, you know? Or even better yet, look at it as the only way out is up. You essentially should try to create change in any sort of situation that's bringing you the feeling or the thoughts that you need to escape from it. Because clearly it's something you don't like. Whether it be person, situation, or feelings. This card could also point to leftover challenges, meaning you're not out of the lion's den just yet. We're making progress, but we've not yet reached our final destination. And while it's important for you to rest and pace yourself, you also want to find and create a balance, a good balance. Like work hard, play hard, or if you really about it, work hard, play harder. For any of my Taurus earth signs out there, find balance in your life within to create it and then see it. Manifest outward and watch that expand around you. You guys need movement. And most importantly, keep in mind the word progress, and always point out your progress to yourself, because at the end of the day, the one person who needs to see the progress the most is you, because you will ultimately reap the benefits from what you have sown or the lack thereof of what you have not. So the benefits of any progress that you've made obviously will come back to you as well. So think about that whenever you're feeling stuck, complacent, or stagnant. This can also, by the way, be an inward journey as well, like being on your path and already on your journey. And if you are, pay attention to the changes within yourself along the way. Be sure to also pay attention to any dreams that you guys may be having this week if you're able to have any. And if you have any interesting ones, let me know in the comments. The planetary and zodiac placements that correlate with this card also, by the way, are Mercury and Aquarius. I get from that like a creative, inventive kind of sense, especially with Mercury, you know, invention, innovation, and that definitely goes and bodes well with the sign of Aquarius, the water bearer, the bringer of water, the innovator. They do things a little bit unorthodox or in ways that are, you know, elusive to others, right? But somehow, like, they still end up where they need to be. And people are just looking like, wow. You know, but within that, they've also probably created their own way or their own lane of how they did it. It's not the same as everybody else's around them. They created it, they did it, they flipped it for them. And what works for some might not work for others. That is why it's important for you to find your own lane. Stay true to yourself. Find yourself. Fulfillment and happiness and understanding, peace within yourself. Because that is who it really matters to and who it's really beneficial for at the end of the day. Yourself. But within this spread for this week, I'm seeing it as a more steady build-up. There's more thought put into it. There's some planning, there's some plotting to achieve this level of success that you're aiming for. So definitely patience is definitely going to be a theme for you. Probably even for the remainder of this year, maybe even into the upcoming year. Patience. Moving smarter, proceeding with caution, avoiding conflict, because ain't nobody got time for that. You've already been there, and you should just know by now, like, it's really pointless. And all it really does is just lead to more issues. Also, I'm getting for you guys to stop announcing yourself and your next move so loudly to everyone and everywhere that you go, because some people are real life hating. Some people are real life hating on you. They got the eye on you. Like, you might have some like open enemies or some frenemies or something, but there might be some plotting and some scheming on the low. People just waiting for that moment to project onto you. So pick and choose your battles wisely this week, and just period. Like, stop giving people ammunition, or really ammunition, aka ammunition, aka your time and energy, because that's all they really want. And then next after that, we have the world reversed, and the planetary influence that this card falls under is Saturn, I believe, or Capricorn, which is Saturn ruled. So, and if you know anything about Saturn, it is a more of like a disciplinary planet, or a planet of restriction, like a disciplinary influence. Some people even refer to it as the father. I kind of like to look at it as well as a hand or an influence in the distribution of karma. But with the reversed here, I'm kind of getting a sense of the easing up of some of that. So you're going to be getting the gentle, loving father who's cutting you some slack because you've been doing a good job. You've been on it because you've been doing a good job. You've been doing what you're supposed to. And for some of you, that means doing what you were supposed to have been doing for yourselves, finally. Becoming self-reliant. Doing what you gotta do for yourself in your life at this time. And if that sounds like you, then you can expect some peaceful and less stressful time toward the end of the week, because your hard work is paying off. And there is progress being made, no matter how small. So always keep that in mind as long as you're applying yourself. And this will also bring you some well-deserved time to actually relax. Less worry, less struggle, less streams, and a well-deserved cool-off period for us all, right? The numerology vibration of the number 6, which was indicated in the last card that we got, which was the 6 of Swords. 6 is indicative of peace and harmony, as well as balancing those things in different aspects of your life, such as within your personal or your financial, your spiritual, your physical, as well as your mental. So like I said, with this card being reversed and the Saturn influenced more at ease here, it's looking like things are going to be clearing up for you, or at least easing up a bit around this time period in the week for you. Up next after that, we have the 2 of Clubs. With that, I'm seeing balance from obstacles to success. Be sure to watch out, like I said though, for frenemies and enemies around this time. They always seem to try to come around to snatch your success, to snatch up those moments when you're in your glow, you do attract, you know, other things. So like I said, watch out for frenemies, open enemies, people with malicious intent or any type of maliciousness, any gossip and things of that nature. This is also a card that can indicate unions, communication, things of that nature. And unfortunately, gossip and open enemies does fall within that category. My freaking Leo moon 7th house knows that all too well. So keep in mind what I said earlier about avoiding confrontation around this time. Most people that identify with the Two of Clubs try to put up like this independent front, or sometimes it's not a front, but it makes them appear defensive or uncooperative, when in truth those types of people are just afraid of being misunderstood. And I mean, I know I felt like that in moments a lot as well before. Two of Cups people might have a little bit of a problem with this whole picking and choosing battles, because they do tend to be people on the wittier, quick-witted side. So like they never don't have an answer or a response, and some people can see them as very opinionated. But you know, as is with perception, because these also are the same people that are very protective of their family and their loved one, and they're generally well protected themselves, especially when it comes to money and finances in their abundance. But one of the challenges is this. So like I said, be careful not to become impulsive or hot-headed this week. Don't be blocking your blessings. Realize test when they come to you, because you will get tested. Learn to use discernment. And then our next card here is, once again, the World reversed. And since you guys got this card twice, but as it came to me the second time, it was a different interpretation. I would say this was more of like indicative of advice, or more of a motivational kind of message that was received during my channeling with this card, within this spread, when this particular card came up again. In this sense, I was getting that the world is actually encouraging you to finish whatever processes that you know you are completing right now. The World card is also about completions. It can also be transformative, the endings of cycles, you know. The world and that viewpoint can also be what you have in mind for yourself as far as your future goals go, that you're trying to get to, that you're trying to accomplish, that you have to go through different things in order to keep leveling up until you reach that final goal. But for some of us, especially some of us that have commitment issues subconsciously, and commitment issues don't just mean commitment to relationships, commitments to yourself, promises, keeping your word to yourself and other people, following through, completion. So on that note, I really do feel like you guys are being called at this time to stop procrastinating. You literally got this card twice, so something's up. Stop procrastinating. There's a sense of something that needs to be completed. So go out and complete, or go inward and complete whatever remains unfinished. For some of you that your world feels upside down right now, unfortunately, its source is often found in something difficult for you to let go of. That is why I said earlier, if you need to go within in order to complete what it is that remains unfinished or unsettled within you. Maybe, like I said, something that you found difficult letting go of. Because I'm telling you, with this card popping up here twice, I feel like in this moment it was an indication of you maybe possibly needing to sort out some inner issues, or any unfinished business that you guys have, because it's something that needs to be cleared out, maybe from an energetic space, because it's holding you back. So that needs to be dealt with, and then you can finally move on and enter into a new phase. And this card will be upright, meaning the energy will reverse. You will have transmuted that energy. And maybe for some of you, it's actually perhaps time to sit back and just observe and just peep, as opposed to arguing or the chance for any miscommunication. Even just listening to what someone, or even what spirit is telling you and taking that advice, taking that guidance. It would seem to me that the cards are advising you to come from or act from a sense of knowing that there's more out there, meaning you don't know everything. You need to be comfortable in the space of knowing nothing. Like in regards to your relationships this week, rather than being the know-it-all, you're encouraged rather to learn than to be teaching, to listen and observe rather than talk and demonstrate or try to dominate. Try to change your perspective so that you're able to enjoy something purely and innocent, almost like as if through the eyes of a child. You know, fascinated, open, learning, flexible, rather than trying to rationalize it within your adult mind as well, even on the more like spiritual side of it. And then following that, our last card for this weekly forecast is the Four of Diamonds. So financial stability, especially for those of you who've remained resilient and self-reliant, or having a straightforward and honest and solid work ethic in whatever it is you're putting your efforts and energies into. Like, you guys, I'm here to tell you that payoff is coming, okay? The checks are being sent in, okay? I'm sealed and delivered to you. But all of what you're going to receive of what you've been exerting and putting in. So some of y'all out there might not be able to rest just yet, but you're making progress and you're transitioning into some less stressful time. The universe sees, and it will always honor your hard work. So just stay on top of things. Just stay up. So when those blessings fall into your lap, you can recognize them and enjoy them. Some of you are going to be also realizing soon that your safety and your stability, your future and your life, all of that is directly affected by you and made by you. So therefore you need to be reliant and able to rely and depend on you. Things like what you're gonna do about things you don't like, what you don't like, and what you're gonna do to be able to get from that to get to where you want to be, to get to what you want to obtain, what it is that you want in your life or for yourself. The Four of Diamonds also indicates protection. So if any of you are maybe even subconsciously coming or acting or holding yourself back from a place of fear, you really do need to realize that it's holding you back. Fears of failure or just anything of that nature. You need to realize that fear is just an illusion. You have nothing to be afraid of. You are being guided and protected, and no one or nothing can take that away from you. So fear not. As long as you're doing what it is that you're supposed to becoming your highest and greatest self, life will continue to reflect that, or where you're at in your journey with that. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's ugly. But as long as you keep at it, just know the universe is looking out for you as you shift your vibration and continue to elevate yourself. We also need to keep in mind that sometimes when there's lack or obstacles in our lives, it's because the universe is trying to show us what areas we need improvement in. Not so much to give you a hard time. It's rather to get you to notice enough to want you to do something about it, okay? In order to flip the situation, flip it into something better, in order for you to do better, okay? The Four of Diamonds also happens to coincidentally rule the week of December 3rd through the 9th in common years, and in leap years, it's December 2nd through the 8th. So we right on the money with it, okay? So that's all that I have for you guys with this weekly forecast from December 2nd through December 8th. If you're watching this message at any point in time throughout this week of the year 2019, or I guess just whenever, what year you're watching it, if you happen to coincidentally be watching it around this time, let me know if it resonated for you. If you're watching this on my Twitter, be sure to like and retweet this for me if you found that it resonated with you, or just to show love and support. And if you're here on my channel and you're new, I'm Mars. This is the Dancing Oracle. If you like what you see here, you can definitely feel free to check out my YouTube page, check out my other videos. So that is all. I hope you guys will have a lovely week, a good day, whatever day, night, evening, morning, whatever you're watching this on. Make sure to set intentions. Make sure to make mindful, conscientious decisions. Stay blessed, stay true, and prosper. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. Love you guys. This is Mars signing off. Bye.